Good morning and welcome to Member Spotlight. Today we have David Nathans from the Martha's Vineyard Museum. David, thank you for welcoming us here today.
Good morning, Ellen. Thank you. Yeah. Wish we had a little more sun, but...
David, could you give us a brief history of the Martha's Vineyard Museum?
Yes, the museum started, and people still recognize the name Historical Society. It actually started as Dukes County Historical Society, changed its name in the 80s to the Martha's Vineyard Historical Society, but about 7 or 8 years ago, changed our name to a museum. And when it started as an historical society in this property, the Cookhouse, built in the early 1700s, and we still open the Cookhouse seasonally from June till October, and interpret it as not just an historic house, but it has a variety of rooms. There's a room for archaeological digs that happened around it. There's a room for kids to try on costumes in the period. There are a number of nautical rooms as well, so it's a variety of things, but it's presented in more like the old historical society way. Then what happened is, as you look at the property, in the 1950s we were given, the Historical Society at the time was given the Fresnel lens from the Gayhead Lighthouse. That was placed in the Reproduction Lighthouse. Behind that building is the library, and that library and the archive room houses nearly 100,000 documents, from photographs to whaling logbooks to letters, diaries, things of that sort. And then as you go further beyond the campus, we have our exhibition space. So the campus grew from just the Cookhouse to a larger, expansive campus and a group of galleries that we use as museum galleries to interpret different themes about the island.
David, in this room, the story of Martha's Vineyard, the Enchanted Isle. Can you tell me a little bit about all of the exhibits and what happens in this room?
Yeah, this room, the exhibit started about a year and a half ago, and it's what we call our permanent history of the vineyard, in about 400 square feet. So it's a kind of condensed history, if you will. It's kind of the monarch notes of the history. And what you see are the major themes from pre-conquest, when the Native Americans and Wampanoags were the only ones here, right through until some of the issues that we're dealing with today, conservation and issues like that. So we deal with historic past, we deal with the present, and we deal with what that means for the future. That's the reason history makes sense to us, is it gives you lessons to live the present, and it gives you lessons for the future. But what you see here used to be the boardroom for the Historical Society, but we kicked the board out and now use it for exhibition space. Because again, that's what museums are about. They're about presenting and inviting the public in to understand the stories that are relevant today. And this is a typical part of our collection, a whaling captain portrait from Edgartown. Other parts of the collection you see here are paper documents, an indentured servant from 1709. These are the kinds of things that our collection is very rich with. And we will change this up, even though it's relatively permanent. It'll change up every year or so as some of the paper materials need to be put away and saved, and other ones taken out.